Davis, such amazing energy. And let's say, of course, whoa, where's the whiteboard?
I'm in the office today. Whiteboard's on the other side. So.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Very cool. Love seeing actually the amazing things that Capacity does. You guys actually have the ability to really just be a game changer for organizations. I've talked to some of the clients that have used the Capacity tools both internally and externally, and it's amazing. So without further ado, take it away.
Well, good morning. Thank you all for taking the time out to hear a little bit of what we're up to. We're going to make this fun and engaging, and let's go ahead and dive in. So we started Capacity to help teams do their best work, and we've seen just a phenomenal set of clients implement this within the mortgage space. That's anything from on the consumer-facing side to the loan officer to the underwriting desk to even onboarding in HR and IT. So we're going to try to cover all those use cases today, keep this lively and moving quickly here. All right, let me share my screen and then we will jump right in. All right, and let me hide my meeting controls. There we go. So I thought we would kick off today with our friends over at Assurance Financial. So Assurance launched the Ask Abby bot powered by Capacity. You can see here one little line of JavaScript, super easy to add to their site. And the basic idea is that they want to give their borrowers instant access to whatever questions they have, get an instant answer to whatever you're looking for. So you could ask a question like, I want to know what is the conforming loan limit? And you'll notice as I start typing, we do autocomplete, so we can actually direct you toward the questions that Capacity knows how to answer, comes back instantly with a response. Every response has a thumbs up, thumbs down. Every time you hit thumb up, the machine learning kicks in and the bot starts to learn to match that a little more often. Every time you hit thumb down, we can bring someone in via live chat or via follow-up ticket. Another example, our friends over at USA Mortgage using Capacity. In their case, they've got their Flat Dougie bot named after their one of their co-founders. So you could ask a question like, why use a servicing agent? And again, does the autocomplete, comes back instantly with a response. Simple, straightforward, frictionless. We're doing similar things over at West Community Credit Union, same idea. You'll notice you can change the branding and the look and feel between each of these, whether you want Ask Abby Green, USA Mortgage Blue, or West Community Dark Blue. Now, okay, David, this is great. You're helping our borrowers. We're answering all these questions for them. What about the mortgage advisor? What about the folks internal within the org? So this is an example of Capacity running on your intranet. You just deploy the bot, one little line of JavaScript. Your IT team can get this deployed in 5 minutes or less. And the basic idea is you can start to ask questions around your guides. So if I wanted to know something like, are business debts counted in DTI? I can click on that response, come back and give me the exact link to each of the areas in both Fannie, Freddie, FHA, USDA. Super easy, super simple. But David, this is great, but man, I got all these overlays and we are just overlay on top of overlay on top of overlay. Can you help me out there? Yes, we can. So if you go back to Capacity and you say something like, oh, I want to know the FHA min credit score. And you'll notice when I click on that question, it is going to take me down a guided conversation. Are you looking for an owner occupied? Are you looking for a HUD approved secondary residence? I'll say owner occupied. How many units? I'll say 1 unit. It comes back instantly with the answer. But if you're like, you know what? I need to trust but verify, you can always click here and it will take you directly to the page of the overlay that gives you all the information you're looking for, all in the tables, etc. But wait, David, our intranet is terrible. What if we could only replace it with an AI-powered solution? Well, again, I'm glad you asked. So not only can you put Capacity on your intranet page, like we showed here, we can also be your intranet. So if you're looking for an internal replacement for SharePoint or a portal, or you don't even have an intranet, pretty straightforward. You can publish content, you can do articles. We actually use the same technology on our support.capacity.com website. So if you want to check us out around there. You can browse around, see what's a part of the platform. And again, it's all natively integrated with our capacity bot. Also, any page on the Intranet can be downloaded as a PDF later. So super easy, super simple. We've designed this whole thing to be as frictionless as possible. All right, we're going to keep on moving here. Let's go into the capacity console. And we're not going to be able to cover everything on the console today just for time, but I'll try to give you a few of the highlights. So this is our capacity developer platform. Think of the developer platform as the gateway to connecting to other capacity apps or other apps within your tech stack. So think of things like Confluence and Jira. Think of things like LA Maze and Compass. I believe we're going to see some demos here from Sales Boomerang coming up soon. We've got a Sales Boomerang integration as well. So you can connect with capacity over 85 different apps out of the box, and then you can go roll your own. So if I go look at an example here, I want to connect capacity to my Salesforce instance. We've got, I think, 75, 80 different Salesforce connectors built out of the box. You hook up your API endpoint to our API, and then you can start asking questions into that app. We're going to show a demo of this in just a few minutes. Now, okay, David, great. We've got capacity handling all this information on my knowledge base, on my apps. But what about my docs? And what about docs that we don't see? They change up a little bit. Like we've got different versions. We've got same type of doc, but we're going to see it in a couple different ways. So this is an example one of our clients uses for our document mining, specifically around the escrow review process. So here is Bob's escrow. Let me zoom in here a little bit. You can see here, he owes about $500 on his escrow. He's got his basic information, his loan number, his address, etc. So we have used our capacity workflows platform to go in, take this document. By the way, this is an image. We will convert that image into readable text and then take that text and turn that into a database. So if I go click on this little nub icon here, I scroll up to the top, you can see we were able to pull out Bob's name, address, letter date, loan number, property address, etc. Super easy, super simple. And in fact, we're even building out the ability to go in and allow you to redact content here as well, in case there's parts of this that you want to be able to send out with a redacted version. All right, we mentioned workflows. Let me kind of unpack that a little bit. So guided conversation is good when you've got a single user going through kind of a choose your own adventure path, like we showed earlier with the FHA min credit score demo. A workflow, think of it as running more behind the scenes, automating things that are happening that your support team might be doing. So in this case, we've got an onboarding workflow demo. We're going to go create a ticket, do some linkages, create some sub-tickets, and then transition the paperwork behind the scenes. Now, in terms of what you can add to the workflow, you can do broadcasts, cloud drives, guided conversations, placeholders, sub-workflows, tickets, variable assignments, and then any of those apps that we talked about earlier can be added to the workflow as well. Now, to show what this would look like on the other end, this is from our friends over at Panorama. This is kind of a little demo that we're working on with them. In this case, they've got an entire employee onboarding Kanban board. They can see all of their team. I don't think they're hiring Lex Luthor here, so I think that is it is a demo example. But you can see their entire onboarding process, and as somebody moves through the process, they don't have to get bogged down with all of the sub-tickets for each of these people. They can go click over to our capacity board, go click on either the IT or HR, and they can see what all of those sub-tickets look like. All right. A new part of the platform we just launched this year is called automations. Basic idea behind automations is that if a guided conversation is a decision tree that happens in the middle of a conversation, and a workflow is more of a process that happens in the background that you either schedule or kick off, think of an automation as an event-driven triggering system that can kick off any action in the system when a particular event occurs. So in this case, we've got a help desk trigger here. When the time interval is passed, if the ticket due date is more than an hour, and we've never executed this, and we've got a status is either done or dismissed, and then I did this just for the demo purposes, if the title contains laptop, then we can go down and look at this action here. We're going to send an email saying that we've got an overdue ticket here. Now, in terms of the types of actions we can add, we can send emails or we can start workflows. We've got a whole bunch of different triggers we can do: ticket created, updated, correspondence created, interaction created, And then all the conditions you'd want, checking on due date, description, past due, is read, priority, status, owner, you name it. So this is awesome if you want to be able to start automating events that occur when specific actions happen. All right, so far we've shown capacity running externally on the web. We've shown it on your intranet, kind of poked around in the console. We've shown workflows and guided conversations, and even how the developer platform works. Now let's show capacity working on more of a kind of a messaging platform like Slack or Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to pull up my instance of Slack here. You can see a couple things. Capacity sent me the weather this morning. It said, other than my usual meetings, here are a link to a couple of non-recurring events for the day. It told me to have a good day today, and then I got started. And so I can go into capacity and I could say something like, let's say, what loans are closing this month? It is going to go connect to my LOS, Ellie Mays and Compass, you name it, go in, grab the information, come back to me instantly with a response. Or I could go to capacity and I could say something like, show the Johnson loan, and it will again log in as me into the LOS, come back instantly with all the information, rate lock, status, down payment, LTV, all the things that you kind of expect. I could go to capacity and I could ask a question like, who is the primary contact for West Community? And it will go in and connect to my Salesforce instance, ask me, David, are you looking for an opportunity or an account? I'll say opportunity. It will now ask me between all the different West Community credit union opportunities, which one are you wanting? I'll just pick the first one. It's now going to log in as me into Salesforce, come back and give me Jason's contact info. Again, super easy, super simple, super straightforward. We're just trying to make it as frictionless as possible to access all of your apps. Now, in fact, I could go connect Jason with Jeremy on my team. He's actually helping us out with a project we're working on. So I could go to capacity and say something like, I want to forward that to Jeremy. And now the bot's smart enough to know that that refers to the previous message. Jeremy maps to Jeremy Burrows. It's going to come back and actually write Jeremy a little email with all the information we just pulled from that previous message. Last kind of two internal examples I want to show. We can use capacity to do some advanced internal scheduling. So I could say something like, I want to schedule 15 minutes to meet with Jeremy and Chris. And now it's going to go look at my calendar. It'll look at Jeremy's calendar. It'll look at Chris's calendar. Smart enough to know we've got multiple Chris's in the org. So I'm going to go select Chris Dewar here. It's now going to log in as all of us into our calendars, try to find the first 5 times when all of us are available. I'll say, let's meet let's meet next week at 4:45. Now it'll go in and add that directly to either my Google Calendar or my Outlook calendar. Last thing I want to show today is, okay, David, this is great. Got capacity connecting your apps and your documents and your knowledge base. You've got all these workflows and automations. What happens if the bot doesn't know the answer? How do we work through that? So if I ask capacity, are we licensed in Missouri? It is going to go look at our apps and our docs and our knowledge base and try to answer that question for me. If it doesn't know the answer, it'll say, hey, David, I didn't find an answer to your question. Here's some next steps I can help you with. File a ticket, search your docs, search the web, or never mind. I'm going to hit file a ticket. It'll now ask me what area does this apply to, just for the purpose of the demo. We actually have the ability to start categorizing this and sending it to the right project on its own. I can either speak with an agent live via live chat, or I can just file a ticket. I'm just going to file a ticket for the purpose of the demo. Now, if I take my user hat off and I go put my help desk hat on, my agent, my support desk on, David, the agent, I'm going to get either an instant message or an email back saying a new ticket's been filed. It's been assigned to you. Can you help this guy out? So now I'll go in. It will take me into the help desk. We can now see all the information we need on the ticket. We've got the transcript here. We've got the ticket listing on the left. We've got the priority, due date, assignment, project, all the things you'd expect from a help desk. You can add attachments. You can do both public and private comments. You could even set up to CC different individuals on top of a response. Where I think this starts to get interesting, though, is if I go flip this over to in progress, instead of, we'll just zoom out a little bit here. Instead of just being able to comment on this ticket back and forth, we've now opened up these little mini tasks. So I can go create new knowledge, map to existing knowledge, or go start a workflow. So I'm going to go create new knowledge, and I'll say, we are licensed in Missouri. I'll scroll down, save this out to my experiments dialog where I keep my demos. I'll hit reply to asker, so we can automatically do that. I'll hit save to the knowledge base. And now we'll flip this over. We can set this to review. Or we could even set it to right over to done. And now what'll happen is if I take my user hat, or I'm sorry, if I take my help desk hat off and I go put my user hat on, David, the user, will get a proactive message back saying, hey, earlier you asked me this question, are we licensed in Missouri? I've got an updated answer for you. And in fact, now if anyone else asks that question, are we licensed in Missouri? Instead of that going to an email, instead of that going to a support desk, Capacity comes back and answers it instantly. And in fact, because the AI is good enough, we can ask even a variant of the question, something like, do we have a license in Missouri? Even though that question does not exist in the knowledge base, it will still come back and give you an instant response. So just to recap, we are here to help support your team, help your team do its best work. We're here for both your borrowers and your internal team. We can connect to your apps, your docs, your knowledge base, your workflows. And even when Capacity doesn't know the answer, we will intelligently escalate that up to the right team member and make it so that you never have to answer that question again. The best compliment we've gotten in the last couple months is when our clients have said, David, we have retired multiple email inboxes that we no longer need to support because Capacity is now doing our support for us. With that, I'll open up to some questions.
Fantastic. If anyone has questions, use the question box. But one question actually that popped up. Can this be used for data collection?
Absolutely. You can use it for filling out a form. You can use it for doing lead gen. You can use it for internal data collection. Absolutely.
So for borrowers submitting docs, this can be used, and can it bring those documents over, to my LOS or CRM?
Absolutely. We can pull information directly out of docs. We've got kind of 5 functions of documents. There's document extraction, classification, separation, splitting, redaction, and annotation. We also have, because we can not only pull information from your LOS, we can also push to it. And so we've got clients doing full workflows where they're uploading documents, extracting information, and pushing it back to their system's record.
Fantastic. All right, this next question I love because I know the answer to it. So how quickly can Capacity be deployed?
You sign with Capacity today. Our goal is to get it live, answering questions either for your team or for your borrowers within 30 days or less. So it's a pretty quick turnaround. A lot of that has to do with the fact that we've already built out a significant number of app integrations. We can mine your documents, you just upload them into our Capacity Cloud Drive. And then with respect to your knowledge base, when we kick off with a new client, we send out a survey. We say, what are the top questions you tend to ask, or you asked when you got to your role? And then what are the top questions you tend to answer? We use that to seed that initial knowledge base. So you're not starting out from a blank slate. You're actually starting out with a curated kind of wisdom of the crowds approach to the top questions people have.
Okay, fantastic. We have 2 more questions and we're going to move on. But so next one, how do you access Capacity? Do you have to have Slack or Microsoft Teams?
No, so you can put Capacity on your intranet. So if you have a SharePoint page or some kind of intranet, it's literally one little line of JavaScript you can add. If you don't, we can be your intranet. So you can have a login. We're even doing SSO integrations in Q1, so you can go, not even have to put in a username and password to get there. And then you can also put Capacity on your public-facing website as well.
Fantastic. How do you make sure confidential information doesn't get into the wrong hands?
Great question. So Capacity uses something called Cascading Permissions, where we will inherit the permissions from the original system. So I'll give a good tee up to my next presenters. So let's say Alex over at Sales Boomerang has a document called Alex's Take Over the World Plan, which he probably actually does, by the way. I don't think this is a joke. If he didn't share it with me and I worked for Sales Boomerang and I asked Capacity, hey, what's Alex's take over the world plan? It literally will not even come back with a response. It literally doesn't even know that the document exists. But conversely, as soon as he shares it with me in Microsoft OneDrive or Google Drive or Box, it instantly becomes accessible to my Capacity instance. Last thing I'll leave you all with, because I know we got to hop, we're running out of time. If you would like to learn more, go to capacity.com, click the request a demo button. We would love to work with you. We're working with a ton of mortgage companies, and I'm pretty darn sure we can help you all automate things both internally and externally.
Fantastic. And there's actually a link somewhere down here, whether you're watching this on Zoom or on YouTube, to be able to book that. Dave, always great to spend time with you. Always great to dig into the amazing Capacity system. And without further ado, we're going to bring, okay, Gerald from File Invite's going to be coming on. All right, then wrapping it up will be, like Dave said, our friends over at Sales Boomerang. So, all right, we are going to bring Gerald up here, and Dave, I'm going to kick you out.
Thank you.
All right. All right.